Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So, oh baby, do we have a video for you?
Yes.
So this video kind of has evolved, right? Like we started out going, you know what? Everybody likes the secret baby. That's one of our videos that gets a lot of attention and views.
Yes.
Most of them. So we thought, well, we'll do another secret baby. And then we were like, but we have a lot of surprise baby as well. And then it just kind of evolved into, look, there's a baby in here and it belongs in the story. So let's just have a baby video. Yeah. So you're going to get also, and we'll let you know what kind of books each book is. But yeah, this is your Oh Baby video. Yes. All things baby. So, okay. But before we bring the babies,
hit the subscribe button because we love to give away free books on our channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're entered to win.
Yeah. Okay. It's been said, I like books that have kids in it. I don't think you don't mind them as long as they're done right. Right? Yeah. I like the kid videos. So as long as they're not obnoxious, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So my first book that I'm going to talk about is a surprise pregnancy, is what this one is. So this is Moon's Promise by Jamie Bagley. I feel like she does a good job of this one. I know it's like 11th in a series. I still think you can read it as a standalone. Just know that the MC is very kinky. That's all you really need to know. I mean, that's just it. But this one does explain a lot of things, so I think you're good. But this is about Larissa and Moon. Larissa has moved to the Kentucky town where the Last Riders motorcycle club is at. Her sister has a thing for Moon, and so they end up going to a party at the clubhouse. These parties get extremely kinky, just FYI. So the sister is, she's got this thing for him. All three sisters work in the medical field. Larissa herself is a doctor, but she is a practicing doula, and that is what they're trying to open up, is this women's center in town. And she ends up going upstairs to use the bathroom. One of the wives takes her upstairs to use the bathroom. She's not supposed to be upstairs because all sorts of things go on upstairs. And she also has, if you're not a club member, then you don't get to know about what's going on. And she leaves the bathroom and sees a door that's cracked open. And she's like, what's going on? She's hearing noises, walks past the door, and holy moly, there is some kind of craziness going on in this room. She kind of freaks out, backs into the room behind her to hide, because if she gets caught, then she'd be in trouble for being upstairs. And that is where Moon is at. He's had a really rough day. He's been drinking. He walked home in the snow. His feet are cold. He thinks like the person who came in is one of the girls that belongs to the club. And so he, asks her to take off his boots and get in bed with him, and things happen. And he doesn't know who it is. He thinks he knows who it is, but it's definitely not who it is. And things kind of snowball from there, especially when Larissa finds out that she's pregnant. But Moon still doesn't know who he's been with. So it's a whole thing. But this book is really long and is really intricate. And there's a lot that happens in this book. Moon has had some serious childhood trauma. And he really wants this child when he finds out about the child. But it's a thing. So there's my first baby.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. My first one is Keep This Promise by Corinne Michaels. This is a secret baby, but there is a good reason. So Sophia and Holden have a rendezvous in Vegas, and they don't know each other. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except for Sophie goes home to London and finds out she's pregnant. But she has no idea who Holden is or how to get a hold of him or anything. So she's kind of stuck. And she had, so the story kind of starts where her husband is dying, and he sends her kind of on this weird mission and basically tells her that she has to run for her life with their daughter. But the daughter is not his biological daughter, it's Holden's. And so she kind of she takes his word for it and goes on the run. and follows like where he tells her to go. And eventually that leads her to Rose Canyon, where she finds Holden. And Holden has kind of been given some weird messages letting him know something is happening. He doesn't really understand what's going on. And voila, they are now back in each other's lives, but somebody is not happy about this. So this definitely has a huge romantic suspense element to it while the two of them are trying to figure out how does this work, and Holden has to deal with the fact that he's a father and had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the next book I have, it's really hard to describe. It's technically Secret Baby, but like a Secret Baby with a twist. So yeah, so I'm gonna tell you about the book. I'm not really gonna tell you much about the baby situation because I don't want to give anything away in the book, but there's a huge twist with the whole situation. So this is A London Villain by Catherine Wilcher. This is Mafia. This is about Ada and Frank. So Frank sees Ada on the worst day of his life when they're really young, and he sees her dancing in like through a window with her mom. Her mom is a ballerina or a dancer, and she's teaching her, and she's in this white flowy dress, and it's like a thing for him. Like he sees the little Irish girl, and he's smitten. And then a handful of years later, they're in their late teens, and he sees her again walking down the street, recognizes her immediately, can see that she has bruising on her neck, and he follows her into a library where they have their official meet cute over the Count of Monte Cristo. And she is the daughter to the Irish mob, the head of the Irish mob, and he is a part of I think he was a part of the Italian mafia, even though they live in the UK and in London. They're in London. And he and her have this rendezvous at this point. Now, Ada is engaged to someone in the Bratva, and she's being forced to marry into the Bratva. And they find out her father and the Bratva guy find out what's happened, and there is some punishments to be doled out, and then they are separated for 14 years. During these 14 years, though, he does send her a copy of the Count of Monte Cristo for every year that they're separated, which I absolutely love. But things happen when he ends up back in her life, and it goes from there. Hi. You're reading, aren't you? Checking those notes out. Okay.
Got me.
Yes, I caught you. Always do. Okay.
All right. My next one is Secret Baby, and this is going to be kind of short and sweet because the author purposely made the back very vague, like the blurb on the back very vague. So I don't want to give too much away.
Yes. And I do think sometimes with Secret Baby, if you tell people it's Secret Baby, it gives too much away. So
yeah. I think people know that this one is.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right, tell us.
Here we go. So this is The Best Thing. It really shouldn't be Secret Baby. I mean, like, it shouldn't be a secret that it's Secret Baby. It's The Best Thing by Mariana Zapata. And so we know this is going to be a slow burn because can she write anything without it being slow burn? I think everything she writes is slow burn, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So Lenny is our heroine and Jonah is our hero. And Lenny has moved on with her life. She's living her life, taking care of stuff as need be, when Jonah shows back up. And nobody told Jonah that Lenny has moved on. And Lenny is kind of angry, like really angry with him. And he has no idea. And he's super confused about what is happening and what is going on. And the reader is a little confused as well with him for a while until we get going in the story a little bit more. And then we kind of understand what's happened. This is told in like kind of dual timelines as well. And so we're kind of piecing things together as the story goes along. So that's really all I'm going to tell you because I don't want to give anything away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of feel the same way about my next book. I don't want to give too much away either. So I'm not going to tell a ton, especially when it comes to the baby situation. So this is like a surprise pregnancy, but it's also I'm going to raise it even though it's not mine kind of situation. So, and you're going to love this because it is Raleigh 2 by Daisy Jane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about Ember and Riker and River. So Ember meets Riker in a bank one day. Riker has an older son, so this is definite age gap. She's very, very early 20, like she's like 20 or 21 at this point. And he's, in his 40s, early 40s, and he has a son who's about the same age as her. And the son has been involved in drugs for a while. And he finds out where the son is, and he's like, I'm going to go get money. I'm going to find it. Like, he wants to keep him wherever he is so they can get him some help. So he goes to the bank to get this cash out. The bank gets robbed. Ember is in front of him in line, and they have this moment together. Like, this whole scene happens, like it takes 15 minutes to happen, and then that's it, right? But they have this connection during that time. And he talks to her about living her life and going out from here and just experiencing life. So that's what she does. Like, they never see each other again. Or I shouldn't say that. They don't see each other for a while. She takes off, moves to New York. She meets a guy, she gets married, and then this is like a couple years later. It's not like just a few years later, she shows up on his doorstep, not realizing it's his doorstep, to give some news to her husband's father, who she's never met. And instead of Riker answering the door, it's River. And she's like, this guy looks just like the guy. And then Riker comes in, and it's a thing. So this is an MFM with identical twins, but there's, and Daisy Jane and her kink. So, but the story is so good. It's just, it's a thing. And there is a baby situation that ends up happening. So
I'm getting cold now, Jessica.
Make up your mind. Are you hot or cold?
Well, I was hot, so I turned the AC on.
Oh, but you turned the AC on. Yeah, I know.
Really cold.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
What's your next book?
Well, my next book is Shaw by B.J. Alpha.
God, I love this book. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay, so we have Shaw and Amelia who have a fling in Vegas. So apparently I have a theme. So please take heed. Be very careful if you go to Vegas and have a theme, fling.
We're going to Vegas next month.
With me.
Oh, thank God. Okay. That's a whole different book.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Anyway. And also, you can't get pregnant, so just stop.
Neither can you. Okay, let's go.
So they have their fling in Vegas, and then Shaw is he works at Storm Enterprises with, all of his buddies, and he's minding his own business, working in his office, and all of a sudden, these mafia men storm in and are like, they basically say, hey, get up, you're coming with us, you're marrying our sister. He's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, our sister, you knocked her up, you're gonna marry her, that's that. And they pretty much drag him out. Well, Shaw has been thinking a lot about Amelia during this time, so he's not necessarily opposed to seeing her again, but not really sure he really wants to go and get married right away either. So this is it's a little bit crazy because they are serious. They're not going to let him out of this. He has to marry her. Mm-hmm. And how's the best way to describe how Amelia feels? I think kind of embarrassed, a little humiliated that her brothers are acting this way, mm-hmm. But she also kind of likes Shaw, so she's not opposed to this working out either. So the two of them are not necessarily opposed to this whole situation, but they're being forced into it, so it's gonna have a lot of bumps, mm-hmm. and some learning curves for Shaw on how to behave.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we first meet Luca, who is her older brother, and then he is in the book Veiled in Hate, and he's not nice, but I love him too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So my
surprise, baby.
So my next book is Secret Yet Surprised. And let me explain that. So this is by Heather M. Orgeron. This is Alcohol You Later. And this is a rock star romance. So this is about Nick and Raven. Nick and Raven have been best friends for years, but they've been hookup buddies for years as well. And anytime Nick needs something, he goes to Raven. So he's out on tour, And he goes back after a concert one night, and he goes into his dressing room. It was before the concert, I think. He ends up in his dressing room, and there is a girl in there with 1-year-old twins, one on each hip. And he's like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? So these twins are his. This girl is the aunt. And the mom, who kept them a secret, has passed away. And she wanted the twins to go to the dad, and she knew she was dying. And because of that, she kept them to herself during this time, also knowing what he was like. But now that she's passed, now she's left explicit, like, instructions for her family to tell him what happened. And so now he has twin babies on the road, you know, as a rock star. So that is where he calls Raven. She thinks he's calling her to come and be on the tour because he can't live without her and he wants her on the tour, but he's calling her to be his nanny. So there's some hurt feelings there. And there's some things. Also because he got somebody else pregnant. So, you know, there's that one.
I wanted to read this. It's been on my TBR for a while, and I just keep thinking that I'm gonna like hate him.
Oh, I was pissed. Like, I was mad for a lot. We're gonna meet her later this month in Seattle. Yeah, I was mad.
Oh, she's at Rain City?
Yeah.
I knew she was at one of the ones that we were going to. I can't remember which one.
Gonna be at Rain City.
All right.
Okay. What else you got?
Well, my next one is one of my favorites.
Okay. Ready?
Do you know what it is?
No.
Just disappointing.
I could like name out 5 different authors and it might not even be right, but they're still favorites. Oh yeah, I know. I almost put that one in here. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. This one.
Okay.
Okay.
So Whispers of Us by Karen Crumpton. So we have Cassie, who is our heroine, and the book opens right up with her finding out that she's pregnant. And she is very surprised and very, very freaked out on this. And we kind of start with her talking to a friend and then kind of telling in flashbacks how she became pregnant with Quinn, the guitarist of Cold Neptune, who is a pretty famous band. It's a baby. And oh my gosh, so good. So Quinn is his band manager is Cassie's almost brother-in-law, who is very protective of her. And basically the band knows, like, this is like his little sister. We just stay away from her. But her and Quinn have been hooking up, obviously. And this is just such a gripping tale of heartbreak and emotional angst. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And it's got that forbidden love element too as well. And it's them just kind of working through everything that's happened to them and that is happening to them. But one thing that I totally love in this book is that there is not this huge delay in Cassie telling Quinn. I despise in books where the heroine finds out she's pregnant and then she gets to sit on this information and deal with it for as long as she wants to. And then she goes and tells the hero. And then if the hero doesn't act correctly, she gets so mad, even though she's had all this time to process it. And I hate that. And in this one, that does not happen at all. She like tells him right away. And maybe she could even have thought of like how to do it a little bit better than she does. But she tells him right away. And we just really see them dealing with everything that's gonna be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was good. Very good.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My next book is by one of my favorite authors. Would you like to guess which one that is?
Well, I could, but then I might say the wrong author and then you'll be upset with me.
Okay. All right. I'll give you yeah, exactly. Okay. So this author has put out 2 books this year, and both of them had babies in it. And I had to choose between the 2, but I've already talked about the one quite a bit. So we're going to go to the first one that she put out this year. And that is Make My Heart Race by Grace McGinty. Shocked? I know Mandy's just not shocked at all. Okay, so this is about Tally. Tally is a female Formula One race car driver. I love when Grace does this in the books because like she has a female bull rider in 8 Seconds to Fly, and you have this one here. I love that because her heroines are strong without being obnoxious, even in a competitive sport that is typically male dominated. So we have Tally here. She is actually she has a relationship with another driver at the beginning of this book, and his dad has a lot of influence. Like I think they own quite a bit of stuff, if I remember right. Like they have a lot of influence over the Formula One world. And the race starts at the very beginning of the book, and there is an accident, and things happen that get Tally kicked out of the Formula One situation, and now this guy is no longer around, and she finds out that she's pregnant. Now she still has to make money. She still has to survive. She has no clue what she's going to do. And then that ends up leading her to a street race, which ends up leading her to her 3 leading men. And I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to give anything else away, but she's pregnant. She's pregnant. Wasn't expecting to be pregnant. And the dad's not around. So it's very emotional in the beginning of this book. So there's mine. What's your last one?
Okay, well, I did not realize this until I said my very first book that I wrote my books down like just in a random order, and I didn't even connect the dots that I had 2 Corinne Michaels, and I realized I bookended my books.
Why not?
Anyway, right. So I have A Moment for Us by Corinne Michaels.
Okay.
So here we have Delia and Joshua. Josh and Delia have been friends for a while. Delia has had a mad crush on him for many, many years. And Josh has recently returned to town, starting when she was like a young teenager. And Josh has returned to town, and they end up having like a friends with benefits situation. And Delia realizes like she's in love with him, and he is adamant he's not going to have a relationship. It is just what it is. He cares for her as a friend, but he does not want to cross that for whatever reason. He's very, very adamant about it. And she decides that like her heart can't take this. She can't keep doing this with him, knowing that she has feelings and he does not. So she goes to break up with him. Or not break up with him, but break off the friends with benefits and basically tell him like, hey, can't do this anymore. And they end up doing it one more time, and the condom breaks. And of course, she's going to end up pregnant. And she completely freaks out about this. And he kind of freaks out about it. But it is what it is. And they're both like decent humans. So they're going to try and figure this out. But Josh is just adamant that he cannot be with her. And we start to learn a little bit more about that. And he's so guarded, and he's like one of those heroes where he is so emotionally damaged and you just feel so bad for him. I loved this one. Definitely check triggers though, because there are some things in here that are a little hard to read about and could be potentially problematic for somebody who's experienced something similar like that. So very good though. I can't hear you.
I muted myself to cough, and I forgot to unmute myself. All right, guys.
Okay.
So there you go.
In the comments, let us know, what do you like this trope? If so, do you like just the whole like, oh baby package? Do you prefer secret over surprise? Or do you prefer when she's pregnant and it's not his, but he's stepping up to the plate? Like, tell us everything about babies and romance. Let us know how you're thinking, how you're feeling, all of it. And make sure you hit that notification button and check back for videos from us on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And, hit that notification button because we drop surprise videos.
Yep. That we do. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.